The infiltration goes wrong. Vincent Romano's estate looked like something from a movie. Sprawling mansion, high walls, guards posted at every entrance. The poker game happened every Thursday in the library, a tradition her father had maintained for 20 years. Sofiya knew the routine, knew the guards' patterns, knew exactly how long she'd have to access the safe in her father's study while he was distracted. What she didn't know was that her father had been expecting her. The plan unraveled the moment she stepped through the study door. The lights flicked on. Her father sat behind his massive desk, 6 armed men positioned around the room. "My brilliant daughter," Vincent said, his voice cold enough to freeze blood. "I knew you couldn't resist finishing your little crusade. You're just like your mother, too stubborn to stay dead." Sofiya's hand moved toward the gun hidden under her jacket, but guards already had weapons pointed at her head. "I wouldn't," Vincent advised. "Sit down. We have much to discuss." Through the tiny earpiece in Sofiya's ear, she heard FAIZE's voice. "Get out of there. Now." But it was too late. She sat, keeping her face blank even as her heart raced. Vincent smiled. "I've known about your evidence collection for months. Did you really think you were that clever? I let you compile it because I've been creating false trails, setting up my rivals to take the fall. When you release your precious evidence, it won't destroy me. It'll eliminate my competition and make me untouchable." Sofiya felt her world tilt. Months of work, years of planning, all for nothing. "Better yet," Vincent continued, "I orchestrated the hit on you through the assassination network. I wanted to see if you'd run to anyone for help. Wanted to know who your allies were." His smile widened. "Thank you for leading me right to your protector." In the guardhouse 50 yards away, FAIZE heard everything through the shared comm. He made a decision in half a second, the way he'd been trained. He triggered the fire alarm and the explosives he'd planted as backup throughout the estate, creating instant chaos. But as smoke filled the building and guards ran in confusion, someone stepped out of the shadows behind him. "Hey, brother," Marcus said, gun pointed at FAIZE's chest. "Knew you'd try something heroic." True colors under pressure. They fought brutally in the smoke and confusion. Marcus was younger, faster, but FAIZE had desperation and 12 years more experience. They crashed through furniture, trading blows and bullets, neither one willing to give ground. "They sent me to supervise your retirement," Marcus said between attacks. "Permanent retirement. I tried to warn you, man. I tried to tell you that girl would get you killed." "She's not just a girl," FAIZE grunted, blocking a punch. "She's what?" "Your soulmate." Marcus laughed, bitter. "You got soft. I watched it happen. They sent you to kill her as a loyalty test. You failed." FAIZE couldn't argue because it was true. He'd failed the network's test. Chosen Sofiya over duty, mercy over money, love over loyalty. Marcus got the upper hand, his gun rising toward FAIZE's head. Then a shot rang out. Marcus stumbled, blood blooming on his shoulder. Sofiya stood in the doorway, gun steady in her hands, covered in ash and looking like an avenging angel. "We need to go," she said. "Now." They ran through smoke and chaos, Sofiya leading him through escape routes she'd memorized as a child. Behind them, her father's voice echoed through the burning estate. "You can't run forever, Sofiya. I'll find you." They made it to a car FAIZE had stationed 3 blocks away, threw themselves inside, and drove away as sirens filled the night. The brutal honesty. Sofiya drove with shaking hands, heading for the highway, putting miles between them and the burning estate. FAIZE sat in the passenger seat, bleeding from a graze wound on his arm, staring straight ahead. 10 miles, 20, 30. Neither of them spoke. Finally, Sofiya pulled over at an abandoned rest stop, killed the engine, and turned to face him. "I need to tell you something," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "Don't." FAIZE's voice was flat. "Don't tell me you used me. Don't tell me this was all part of some bigger plan. 6 months ago, I put out feelers to hire someone from the network to help me fake my death," she said anyway, the words tumbling out. "They sent you instead. To kill me. I didn't plan that. But when I saw it was you, the man from the alley 7 years ago, I thought maybe the universe was giving me a sign. A chance. A chance for what?" FAIZE asked, his jaw tight. "To not do this alone. To maybe," she took a shaking breath, "to save someone the way you were saved. I didn't use you as bait tonight, but I did let you think we could have a normal ending when I knew we probably couldn't." "Why?" Tears spilled down her cheeks. "Because for 8 days, I got to pretend I was just Sofiya," falling for someone who saw me. Not fire, the mob princess with a death wish. And it was the most real thing I've ever felt. FAIZE processed this, anger and hurt and understanding all fighting for dominance. Your father's evidence plan? I already have countermeasures. Copies with journalists, federal prosecutors, international investigators. Time releases. He underestimated how paranoid I am. She pulled a small flash drive from her pocket. And these are the real files from his safe. I got them before he came in. Everything he said tonight was theater. He doesn't know what evidence I actually have. So you won. No. She reached for his hand, but he pulled away. Marcus almost killed you because of me. You've been marked for death because I asked for your help. This isn't winning. This is destroying everything I touch. So what now? The question carried the weight of everything. Their plan, their partnership, their almost relationship. Sofiya handed him a phone with coordinates already programmed. There's a boat at that marina. Papers for a new identity. Money. Everything you need to disappear. Go. Live the life you wanted. What about you? I finished what I started. Release the evidence. Testify if needed. Face whatever consequences come. She looked at him with eyes full of love and resignation. Alone, like I should have from the beginning. You're pushing me away. I'm setting you free. Her voice broke. You've killed for money, FAIZE. Don't die for love. Please, just go. He stared at her for a long moment. Then he got out of the car, took the phone with the coordinates, and walked away. Sofiya watched him disappear into the darkness and felt something inside her shatter. She'd done the right thing. So why did it feel like dying? Change perspective. The choice FAIZE sat in the boat at the marina, engine idling, watching dawn paint the sky in shades of pink and gold. He had everything he needed. New identity, clean papers, money, freedom. His phone showed the coordinates to a new life, a small town in Montana where nobody knew him, where he could be someone else entirely. Someone who'd never killed anyone. Someone who got to start over. All he had to do was go. But he kept seeing Sofiya's face in that alley 7 years ago. A stranger who'd chosen to help when helping made no sense. Who'd risked herself for someone she didn't know because it was the right thing to do. He kept seeing her face in the cabin, laughing over coffee. Her face in the motel, breathing softly in his arms. Her face last night, telling him to save himself even though it was clearly breaking her heart. She'd saved him twice now. Once from bullets, once from loneliness. And he was supposed to just leave her? FAIZE cut the engine and walked back to shore. Meanwhile, Sofiya sat in a parking garage in the city, her laptop open, uploading evidence to secure servers. She'd recorded a video confession outlining everything. Her father's crimes, her own role in gathering evidence, her willingness to testify. She'd go to prison if necessary, but her father's empire would burn first. Her finger hovered over the send button. Before she could press it, a familiar voice said, "You're supposed to be on a boat somewhere safe." She turned. FAIZE stood there, hands in his pockets, looking tired and determined. "You're supposed to be gone," she said, her voice catching. I tried. Got about 100 yards before I realized something. He walked closer, sitting on the trunk of the car beside her. "I've been running my whole life. From foster homes, from the military, from the network, from anything real. You're the first person who ever made me want to stay. FAIZE, let me finish." He took her hand. "You saved my life 7 years ago, and you've been saving it ever since. You showed me what it looks like to fight for something that matters, to care about something more than survival. I'm not leaving you to do this alone. If you stay, we're both targets forever," Sofiya said, tears streaming down her face. "The network, my father's people, everyone, I know, we'll never be safe. I know that too." He squeezed her hand. "But I'd rather be running with you than hiding alone. I'd rather have a short, dangerous life with you than a long, empty one without you." Sofiya let out a sound between a laugh and a sob. "That's insane. You make me insane." He smiled. "In the best way." Authentic communication breakthrough. They sat on the trunk of the car in that parking garage, the laptop still open beside them. And for the first time, they talked without walls or armor. "I was willing to die to destroy him," Sofiya confessed. "That was always the plan. Go down with the ship. Make sure he couldn't hurt anyone else even if it cost me everything." "What changed?" "You." She looked at him, really looked at him, letting him see all the fear and hope and love she'd been hiding. "You showed me what it could feel like to actually want to live, to have something worth surviving for. And it terrified me. Because wanting to live meant I had something to lose. FAIZE understood that fear intimately. I've killed 47 people, he said quietly. I'm not a good man, Sofiya. I've done things that would horrify you. You think I don't know that? She turned to face him fully. You think I don't understand what violence looks like? What it does to a person? I grew up in that world. I know exactly who you were. You're not that person anymore. Or maybe you are, but you're also the person who couldn't pull the trigger. Who chose to help me instead of killing me. Who taught me to shoot and made me Spanish food and held me when I had nightmares. Her voice softened. You looked at me like I could be someone other than fire. Like I deserved to be happy. And I wanted to be that person for you too. You are, FAIZE said. You're the person who saved a stranger in an alley. Who spent 12 years building a case against her own father because justice mattered more than safety. Who's brave enough to face consequences for doing the right thing. I'm scared, she admitted. Me too, but I'm more scared of losing you. We can't go back, Sofiya said. If we do this together, turn in the evidence, testify, take down my father, and expose the network, we give up any chance at clean exits. We'll be fugitives, targets, forever. FAIZE considered this, really considered it. Freedom versus love, safety versus partnership, running versus standing his ground for the first time in his life. I spent 12 years as a ghost, he said finally. No friends, no family, no one who cared if I lived or died except as a tool to be used. I don't want to be a ghost anymore. What do you want? This. He gestured between them. You. A life that means something. Even if it's dangerous. Even if it's short. I want to wake up next to you and know that I chose something real. Sofiya started crying in earnest then. Relief and fear and love all pouring out. FAIZE pulled her close, and they held each other in that parking garage while the sun rose on a new day. This might be the most romantic thing anyone's ever said to me, Sofiya said against his chest. And it's absolutely insane. You bring out my insane side. She laughed, then kissed him. Finally, desperately, completely. No holding back. No what-ifs. Just two broken people choosing each other despite every logical reason not to. When they pulled apart, both breathing hard, Sofiya asked, So what's the plan? We finish what you started, FAIZE said. Together. New agreement. Partners in everything. 1 week later, they walked into the federal building in Manhattan, hands clasped tight, ready to face whatever came next. The prosecutor, a stern woman named Jennifer Hayes, looked at them with deep suspicion. You're wanted for faking your death, she said to Sofiya. And you're wanted for contract breach and multiple murders, she said to FAIZE. Why should I believe anything you tell me? Because we're handing you the biggest organized crime case in New York history, Sofiya said, sliding a flash drive across the desk. Everything. Ledgers, recordings, shipping manifests, financial records. 12 years of evidence against Vincent Romano and his entire operation. Plus the assassination network that operates internationally, FAIZE added, producing his own flash drive. Names, locations, contractors, clients. Everything I know from 12 years inside. Hayes looked at the flash drives like they might explode. What do you want? Witness protection, Sofiya said. Reduced sentences in exchange for testimony. New identities after we testify against everyone. You understand you'll never be safe? Hayes said. The people you're turning against have long memories and longer reaches. FAIZE and Sofiya looked at each other. A whole conversation happened in that glance. Acknowledgement of danger, acceptance of consequences, commitment to facing it together. We understand, FAIZE said. But we're done running. The deal took 3 days to negotiate. They'd spend 18 months in protective custody, testifying against Vincent Romano, the mob families he worked with, and the international assassination network. Then they'd disappear into carefully constructed new lives far from New York. The prosecutor warned them one final time. They'll hunt you forever. You know that, right? These aren't people who forgive or forget. We've been hunted our whole lives, Sofiya said. The difference is, now we're together. And together, FAIZE added, squeezing her hand, we're a lot harder to kill. 2 years later, the small coastal town of Cannon Beach, Oregon, looked like something from a postcard. Gray skies, crashing waves, houses tucked into hillsides covered in pine trees. A woman who looked like Sofiya, but went by Elena Rodriguez, taught art history at the community college. She was popular with students, known for making Renaissance paintings feel relevant and exciting. A man who resembled FAIZE but answered to James Martinez ran a small woodworking shop downtown. He built furniture with clean lines and careful craftsmanship, each piece signed with a small flame symbol nobody understood, but everyone admired. They lived in a modest house overlooking the ocean, with a garden Elena was slowly learning to maintain, and a workshop where James spent his evenings turning raw wood into beautiful things. At night, they still checked the locks 3 times. Still kept emergency bags packed and escape plans updated. Still woke sometimes from nightmares about the past. Some habits never break when you've lived the way they lived. But they also cooked together, argued about which streaming service had the best shows, took long walks on the beach with their rescue dog named Hope. James taught Elena to build furniture with her hands. Elena taught James to appreciate Caravaggio's use of light and shadow. Vincent Romano's empire had collapsed spectacularly. 27 indictments, including him. He was serving life in a maximum security prison. The assassination network had been gutted, though they both knew fragments remained, scattered and vengeful. 2 weeks ago, someone had recognized James at the hardware store. The man had stared too long, eyes narrowing. James and Elena had gone home, packed their bags, ready to run. But the man never came back, never reported them. Maybe he'd been mistaken. Maybe he'd decided not to get involved. They unpacked slowly, learning to live with uncertainty. Do you regret it? Elena asked one evening as they sat on their porch watching the sunset paint the ocean in shades of orange and purple. Which part? James asked. All of it. Not pulling the trigger that night. Running. Staying. Testifying. James pulled her close, kissing the top of her head. I regret I only have one life to give you. I'd choose this. Choose you. In every version of reality. In every possible universe. That's so corny, Elena said, but she was grinning. You love it. I do. She turned in his arms to face him. I love you. Even though you're a terrible romantic who quotes poetry wrong and burns dinner twice a week. And I love you. Even though you're a control freak who color codes the bookshelf and corrects my grammar constantly. They kissed as the sun sank below the horizon. 2 people who'd been through hell choosing each other again and again. Because that was the thing about real love, they'd learned. It wasn't about grand gestures or perfect moments. It was about choosing someone every day, even when it was hard. Especially when it was hard. It was about building a life together from broken pieces, about finding peace in each other's presence, about creating something beautiful from all the ugly things that came before. Later that night, as they lay in bed listening to waves crash against the shore, Elena said quietly, "Thank you." For what? For not killing me that night. For seeing me when I'd spent so long being invisible. For being brave enough to stay when leaving would have been easier. Thank you for saving my life, James said. Twice. Once in an alley and once in a penthouse. You showed me what it means to be human again. They fell asleep wrapped around each other, safe for another night, grateful for another day. And if sometimes they woke to shadows that weren't there, if sometimes they caught themselves planning escape routes, if sometimes the past felt too close, well, they faced those moments together too. Because they learned the most important lesson. You don't need a life without danger to be happy. You just need someone worth facing the danger with. Someone who sees all your broken parts and loves you anyway. Someone who looks at you and thinks, yes, you, always you. And for FAIZE and Fire, for James and Elena, for whoever they became and whoever they'd been, that was enough. That was everything.